Hello everyone and welcome to this tier 3 stream, PlayStation tier 3. I am the commentator for tonight via F1 Lover. I normally commentate PlayStation tier 2, but I've had to jump in today because of some issues for Tiger Assassin. So it's my second time actually in the commentary box for PlayStation tier 3, as I helped out with Bahrain. So gonna be an interesting race tonight to see what different drivers do, and we have got rain in qualifying, so that is going to mix things up as well. Not sure if it's raining in the race or if it will dry up later towards the end of this qualifying session, but I guess we will find out as we go along. So Dylan SCFC is on a lap. I believe he was the first person to cross the line, so he will give us the first representative time of tonight. And Thibaudin is already out of the session, so that is his qualifying gone already. And the awesome same, I think I Zeke for Life Pro. Anyways, welcome to the stream. But now Dill will set the first lap. It's going to be 27.8, quickly beaten by Wolfie's 25.0. Maybe this could be the first weekend where Wolfie gets that long-awaited race win he's been hoping for since round 1, but hasn't been able to do. And Imola, I've actually just gone into P2 with 25.2. Very nice lap time from the Hash driver. Hopefully he can keep that pace up for the rest of the session. Wolfie, I believe, went for a second run, but unfortunately for him, invalidated. So let's run him with E-Ray, who's going for 2 laps on these inters after presumably invalidating the first one. So he's coming now towards the end of sector 1. It's going to be 27.0. Purple through the second sector, but Y69 Brit, who we saw win last time out in Britain, goes on to provisional pole position with a 24.5, a stunning lap from the Williams driver right there, and he's really starting to show some form at the moment. Yeet for Life Pro, who's spun and lost. No, I thought he lost front wing, but fortunately for him he hasn't. He might get in the way of E-Rays though, he's on a lap, but hopefully he should get out of the way of the Alpine, which he does pretty well coming down towards the final few corners. Is that Ted jumps up to P5 with 26.5, so not currently on the pace, and that's Yeet for Life Pro again at the final corner. E-Rays, we saw him ride, we were riding forward most of his lap, 25.7 for the Alpine driver. Nice lap time to kick off his qualifying session. A few other drivers on that. Yeet for Life Pro will have to box for a new wing. Gamer Pro is in sector 1 of what will be his first lap time of the session. If he gets it done, he's done a 27.8 through the first sector. So these intermediate conditions really catching quite a few drivers out and making it difficult for them to set competitive lap times, which we know they can. But Gamer Pro now is done a 58.0 through the middle sector, so he will be challenging in around that P4 to 6 range, I believe, if he doesn't make any major mistakes through the final sector, which he runs a bit wide on the exit of the penultimate corner, but it's pretty nice and tidy, and he goes P7, so unfortunately not where I predicted him, but he is quicker than his teammate, but his teammate is 1.1 up through the first sector alone, so good pace at the moment from Dylan. Hopefully he can keep the pace up through the rest of the lap, as I believe that's Taj Fun who's spun just as he was about to start his lap, so that is unfortunate. Kieran goes up into P2 at 24.9, the championship leader at the moment by quite some margin, is showing his impeccable pace once again as he goes P2, but crucially is he still 4/10 off the Williams of Y69 Brit, who sits in P1 at the moment, so he's going to have to do a bit better if he wants to go onto pole position, but Dylan with a very nice lap does 25, moving him up into P5 at the moment. Taj Fun's on a lap where he's invalidated, and Yeet for Life Pro is getting out of the way. Livo K-Dots and Easy Level Bot have not set a lap time. Just give me 1 second, because I believe Livo K-Dots has left the session, so let me try get him back in. I've sent him an invite, so hopefully he should be able to get back into the action. Not really sure what's happening with East Level Bot, and then of course saw Dibaldine retire earlier in the session. Imola is on a lap, so let's see what he can do as he comes towards the end of sector 2. Can he go? Yes, he goes purple through the middle sector, so this is a very competitive lap time from the Haas driver, but unfortunately he just loses it on the exit of turn 12, I want to say. So unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go again on those tyres. He's 7/10 up, so that would have put him in and around Y69 Brit's pole lap at the moment, but he's going to have to try again. But lucky for him, he now knows that he does have the pace to challenge at the top, and so does Kieran. He's had it all season, as he's currently about 6/10 up on this lap. That didn't look too fast though, and he's lost a bit of time, only 5/10 now, but he gets the car nicely rotated through the double apex, and he's going to come towards the end of the lap. And the last two apexes that are pretty easy to misjudge. He gets the car nicely rotated and keeps it within track limits, has a bit of oversteer on the exit of the final corner, but he should, takes pole position, provisional pole, 24.2. Great lap from the Mercedes driver there, who is now on provisional pole by 2.5 tenths, I believe. The Y69 Brit is on a lap and he's out of the session. So Y69 Brit will not be improving on his lap time. That is his qualifying session over. Disaster for the Williams, who's left in the barriers. So he will start no higher than P2 and will probably tumble down the order as the drivers start to set quicker lap times. But Wolfie is on a lap, so let's see what he can do. Livo K-Dots is now back into the session, and Wolfie's gone purple through sector 1, about 2/10 up on his previous lap. So nice lap time from him so far. Youth Life Pro did a 28.0 at the back, He will need to improve on that quite a bit if he wants to be challenging anyone ahead of him. But it's a good bank lap at the moment as Wolfie now is coming towards the end of sector 1. What is his lap going to be? He's about 5 tenths up, so this could be pole position lap time if he gets it nice, if he keeps it nicely within track limits and facing the right direction through the final sector. Of course, we saw Kieran have that massive oversteer moment, and he's just as I was saying, keeping it within track limits. He's invalidated at the penultimate corner, so he's into the pit lane. I believe the track conditions are getting better now as the drivers are starting to improve quite a lot. Kieran is going for a lot of laps on these intermediates, so that proves to me that I don't think it will be a wet race. But Yeet for Life Pro joins the DNFE list as Kieran, I just didn't catch his first sector split, but we will catch Dylan's, who's on a lap as well as he comes towards the end of sector 1. He's only a few hundredths up, so not good enough to challenge the front row at the moment. Doesn't get turn 6 picked up as nicely as he would have wanted, and that's an McLaren round at turn 1. That's Tajfun, who spun on his outlap. Lavo K-Dots and Easy Level Bots still are yet to leave the pit lane, so maybe they're waiting till the end as track conditions might dry up significantly, but who knows. Dylan ran very wide and he's about 4 tenths down on his lap, so he will not be improving, getting present outlap. E-Rays is in the gravel, but Kieran goes quicker again with the 23.7, and I think the rain is definitely starting to ease off, and we're starting to see quicker lap times from every driver. And look at that, Wolfie's gone for the softs. Wolfie has selected the softs in the pit lane. Whether or not he'll come out with them is another question. Ted goes P3 with a 24.9, so the track is definitely significantly improving. It looks like it might just flicker to softs at the end of the session. We can see Wolfie flicker. Oh, that's Ted. Oh, big moment. You see Wolfie in the pit lane just flickering between inters and softs. So we'll have to wait and see what he does with his tyre choice. Dylan is currently down on his sector 1 time, and Eatler is also coming towards the end of his sector 1. So maybe right at the end, the softs could become the tyre of choice, which is why drivers like Easy Level Bot have opted not to set a lap time here at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see how the track develops. It's definitely raining a lot less than it was at the start of the session, and it's only drizzling now, but the rain is still there. So I think we could see, as Wolfie is actually opted for the inters, so he was flickering between the inters and the softs. He's decided the inters are the better tyre, but look at this, the rain has stopped coming down. So could we see someone risk it and go for the soft compound tyres? Would this soft be faster at this stage of qualifying? Everyone is still sticking to the inters, but we could see someone risk it for softs, as it's now not raining at all. So I think the softs, if you can get a good lap on them, they could definitely help you improve. As the Kutu Jarger has gone up into P5 and completely missed that. I wonder if anyone's going to risk it. E-Rays is coming out again, but he's just going for the softs. Tajfun's on inters. Livo K-Dots and Easy Level Bot both on the inters. So it looks like everyone's going to stick with the inters, even though the rain has stopped. So the softs might work in these conditions. I mean, there's no guarantee, and you'd much rather guarantee your starting position with a good lap on the inters rather than going for the softs and it completely not paying off. But we'll have to wait and see what everyone does, as Kieran was marginally down on his time, but unfortunately invalidated through that double apex corner. So let's see what Wolfie can do on his lap. So no one, interestingly, going for the soft compound tyre. Everyone everyone opting for the inters, so we will not see the use of the red wall tyre in this qualifying session. But Wolfie's marginally up on his sector 1 time. It won't be enough for pole position unless he can find huge improvement through the middle and final sector. You can see him going over to the left to get the damp spots on the track. Imola improves to P3 24.5. Still not good enough to challenge who's that at the top? Kieran at the top. But that is Tashbon nearly losing it. But Wolfie invalidated. But luckily for him, he will have another chance to go for it, and he will make the line quite easily, so he doesn't need to panic. But Imola is purple through sector 1. He's about a tenth up, and Lavo Kadox and Easy Level Bot will not set a lap time in this session. Gamer Pro will not finish the qualifying session. He's retired in the pit lane. Wolfie's going for it again now. Let's stay on board with Imola. Kieran's into the pit lane, so he's not going to improve on his lap anymore. Imola is 3 tenths up through the middle sector and purple through the middle sector, but whether or not he will set a purple lap time, we're yet to find out. As you saw, Dylan cutting corners, trying to get to the line, but unfortunately for him, he will not. He's just going to end up in the barrier and with a penalty as well. And Imola improves to 24.2. That's not enough for pole position. What can Wolfie do? He's a few times up through the second sector split, the first sector split. Thank you for the follow, K Plays. Hopefully you will enjoy the stream. But Wolfie is 8 tenths up on his lap here. Can he keep? Oh, and he's invalidated. Wolfie, on what could have been a pole position lap, has just invalidated, and so has his teammate. So neither of the Alfa Romeos will improve. Can Likuto Jaja knock Wolfie out of the top 5? No, he cannot. He's not improving. Ted retires from the session. E-Race is invalidated. So that is the end of qualifying here in PlayStation Tier 3. It's Kieran on pole once again. Takes it by about 5 tenths to about 5 tenths to Imola, and then Y69 Brit rounds out the top 3. Thank you for the follow, Tia now. Wolfie crossed the line, so it's fine. The session would have ended when Likuto Jaja finished his lap. So Kieran on pole once again by 5 tenths of a second. And then it's Imola in P2. Y69 Brit rounds up the top 3 with Ted P4, Wolfie P5. Likuto Jaja starts P6. Dylan starts 7th. Gamer Pro 8th. 9th is E-Race. 10th Yeet for Life Pro. 11th is Tajfun, and the rest in his set of time is Lava Kados in 12th, Easy Overbot in 13th, and Thibaldine, who we saw retire at the start of the session, in 14th position, rounding. beginning. So Kieran going for the mediums, Imola, Brett, Ted and Wolfie all going for the soft Liquito Chargers, who's failed to get off the line on the mediums. Dylan on the soft, so it looks like most people are going for the soft tire to start the race, but Kieran, Liquito Charger, Eat for Life Pro, he's been disqualified, Catch Fun and Easy Level Bar are all starting on the medium compound tire, so we'll have to see how the medium tires pay off. Can Kieran keep it in first place and in the lead by the time they come to turn 1? Kieran though, he's going to have a big job on those mediums as they take quite a while to warm up. It will be the first time any of these drivers are doing dry tire running for this weekend, and Cash Fun's already been caught out by the conditions as Live Arcade leaves his session, so unfortunately it doesn't look like he'll be present for the start of the race, and Cash Fun is disqualified from the formation lap, so we'll line up alongside Eat for Life Bro, also starting on the mediums. Also starting on the mediums in P10 and 11. So we've got an interesting race ahead of us. Drop down in chat who you think will be the winner of this race as we go towards 5 red lights, and away we go. We're just waiting for Yeet for Life Pro, and he will to his 5 red lights, and away we go. Oh, there's a Aston Martin at the back who's had an awful start and straight into the wall, way too much wheel spin. But look at Imola. Imola's already jumped Kieran in towards turn 1. Y69 Brit also trying to jump Kieran. Dylan has picked up 5 seconds for severe collision with Wolfie. But here comes, oh, it's a safety car already. And that is because Liquito Charger has been disqualified, and Theobaldine has no wing, and Gamer Pro also has no wing. And neither does Easy Level Bot, so 3 drivers losing the whole of their front wing on lap 1. I'm not quite sure what happened there. A crazy start, but the good news for Imola is that he's up into P1 in this race and has jumped Kieran on the medium tyres. So now he can start to pull away and start to stretch the legs of that Haas car, which we know can be in the right conditions, but the safety car will stay out for quite a few laps, I presume, whilst the debris is cleared up. Will anyone pit? It looks like Imola, Kieran. No, I don't think any of the people who still have an intact front wing from that first lap will pit, apart from Dylan who pits. I think that's the surface 5 seconds. Easy Level Bot, Game Pro and Theobaldine will all obviously be boxing for new tyres. So, a very interesting start, not too much position change. At the back there was quite a bit of chaos, but let's look at the position change. So Imola, who's gained one, obviously overtaken Kieran, who's lost one. Y69, Brit, Ted, Wolfie have all maintained position. Then E-Rays has gained 3. Eat for Life Pro has gained 3 as well. Livo K-Dots has joined, so has gained 4, and he's an AI car, so he will not be scoring points unless he can get back into the session. But Tajfun is up 2 positions. Dylan is down 3. Easy Level Bot up 2. Thibaldine is up 2. And Game of Prey down 5. And then Nick Jarvis, who got disqualified, is down 8. So, an awful start for the Aston Martin team, who've lost 8 positions total in, what, 1-2 corners. So, and a bit of a straight. So, not too great from their end, but hopefully they can fight back towards the end of the race, as hopefully, the safety car will not in this lap, so we're going to have to wait another lap to wait and see what happens with the safety car. But whilst that's happening, I will take this chance to run you through the driver standings at the moment for PlayStation Tier 3. So at the moment, of course, Kieran on top with 142 points, 5 wins to his name already this season. And then in P2 is Wolfie with 87 points, quite far behind Kieran, but anything is possible. Dylan is in P3 with 50 points, and he's ahead of Easy Level Bot on 49 points, 1 point behind him, and also 1 position behind him in Championship and this race. Then is Thibaldine also on 49 points like Easy Level Bot, and Gamer Pro, who's on 45 points. So a close battle for the P3 spot, and that is also including Livo K-Dots in P7 in the Championship with 43 points. And then it's Not Forever, who unfortunately left the league, in P8 with 40 points. We have a Yeet for Life Pro fan in the chat. I'll be winning him onto victory, but it is going to be very unlikely. But then in P9 Championship, we got Ted on 35 points, then Money to Cheeks on 34 points, but he is going, he has gone to Tier 2 now, and Y6, thought that was on front wing, but no, Y69 Brit, who's currently P3 in this race, is P11, but he's only done 1 race in which he won and got fastest lap, so maximum points for him there, but it might not be maximum points for, in this race, as Imola has nailed the restart. Wolfie's going to be under pressure from E-Rays as they come towards turn 1. E-Rays is going to send it to the inside. Dylan is out of the session at the back. Wolfie has to take avoiding action. E-Rays, E for Life Pro has managed to come out of it unscathed. Dylan and Tajfun, Dylan's into the wall. Tajfun has lost his left end plate, and Ted has been overtaken by Wolfie, so maybe some team orders from Alfa Romeo, we won't know. Thibaldine gets past the AI car of Livo K-Dots, and Gamer Pro now gets past Easy Level Bot and up into the top 10, but Easy Level Bot on those mediums, of course, so we'll have to watch his pace as the race progresses, as Gamer Pro runs a bit wide. Expect penalties to play a big part in today's race. They were quite prevalent in PlayStation Tier 2's race, so I expect to see quite a lot once again tonight, as Imola is a very easy track to pick up warnings at, but at the moment it's been a good restart for Imola, who's managed to pull out the DRS range of Kieran and managed to get that 1 second gap that is so coveted around here, and can really help you to pull away if you're not stuck battling other cars and not the arrest of other cars, and that is Yeet for Life Pro, who will unfortunately not be winning this race as he is into the barrier, and that is another safety car. So Yeet for Life Pro becomes the latest DNFE as he's into the wall, and unfortunately for K players, he will not be winning tonight. You have to wait until next week if you want to see him win. So Tashfun is into the pit lane for New Sauce. I wonder if any of these guys at the front will box for new tires as well. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like East Level Bot is running Italy inspired crash helmet, sorry. So that is very, very cool. But he has to get out of AI. But none of these guys have box. But we are getting ready to go. Actually, we will not be getting ready to go racing as Tashfun is still way behind. But anyways, I will jump back to the championship standings that I was going through before the first safety car restart. So after Y69 Brit in P11, it's Yeetmex in P12. Unfortunately, he reached a season total of 12 license points, so received a 2 race ban, but he will be back next week in Spa-Francorchamps. And then we have E-Rays in P13 in the championship with 22 points, and then we have Veteran 1 Veteran 1 with 18 points in the championship. In P14, Likuto Jaja is P15 with 12 points, but unfortunately will not score any further points today. Scout Dan P16 with 4 points. He has unfortunately had to leave due to work-related issues, I believe. And then Eatler, who's currently leading this race, is only on 4 points at the moment, so this would be a great win for the Hash driver if he can convert it. And then we have Taj Fun VL1, who's DNF with 1 point. And then after that we have Yeet for Life Pro. Starting, all the drivers have 0 points. Yeet for Life Pro 0 points. TSMH, who left the league, 0 points. Jork Wutu, who's not raced tonight, left 0 points. Yassir and Coulter, both former AlphaTauri drivers who've left the league, also on a season total of 0 points. So we're getting ready to go racing again in PlayStation Tier 3. Hopefully this will be a clean restart and we can get multiple laps of racing. get multiple laps of racing done for Alls. Kieran went to the outside of Imola, and Imola almost shut the door on him completely. Fortunately, he didn't end up in the gravel, but he's gone. But Kieran preempted it, but so has Y69 Brits, so these guys are all going to be weaving like crazy down towards turn 1. Ted has had a really poor restart. Wolfie is going to try to the outside. The top 4 all maintain position, but Thibaudin got past Ted, and so did Easy Level Bot. So Ted has not had the greatest restart. He's now under pressure from Gamer Pro. He's going to look to the outside of Ted. Can he get the move done on the outside? No, he just has to stick behind. Goes for the cutback on Ted, but can't make anything work, and will have to stick behind for now. As that's actually he gets the move done on the next straight, so up into P8 for Gamer Pro. Looks like Imola doesn't have the same pace as he did on the previous restart, as he's not able to pull away as effectively, and Thibaudin down the inside of E-Rays and up into the top 5. He's making moves. He doesn't want to stay behind for any longer. He wants to get himself up into those top positions in the race, and one way to do that is by making good moves like that. And Y69 Brit has actually decided to box, so Y69 is into the pit lane, and that's going to cause this separation between Imola, Wolfie and Kieran, as now Wolfie won't get the aid of DRS, whereas Imola will, and so we have a bit of battle brewing between Game Pro and East Bot, and Game Pro is now up into P6 in this race, but Y69 Brit going for the medium, so very early pit stop if he's trying the 1 stop, but he might be attempting the 2 stop, in which case that would be very ambitious, but he's now quite far behind on the other cars in front of him, and will have to make quite a lot of ground to catch back up, but I'm sure he will do that in no time. As we really saw Wolfie have a bit of a moment there on the exit of one of the toughest corners in the game to get right, just like turn, I'm not sure, but I think we all know the turn I'm talking about at Portimao, the uphill one. I can't remember what turn number it actually is, but that is one of the most difficult tracks, and Y69 Brit, who's gambled onto the mediums early, might pay off in pace but not in penalties, as he becomes the first driver to pick up a time penalty in tonight's race. Kieran is still all over the back of Imola, but Ted is all. As we have E-Rays and Thibaudin going side by side into towards turn 1, and that is E-Rays who spun around by Thibaudin, and he's going to have to get that Alpine back and running again, but Ted now just boxed, but he's gone to move soft, so Ted is committing to the 2-stop strategy in this race, so we'll have to see how that pays off for him. Could be a very good strategy call, or it could be one of the worst. We'll have to wait and see, but that is E-Rays who's round again. He's lost all of his wing, and it's a virtual safety car, so this might give Imola a chance to box for new tyres. Same with Wolfie and, obviously I'd say Live K-Dots, but he's no longer in the session, so we'll have to see what Imola and Wolfie do here, as they could definitely box for new tyres and lose way less time, and I think that's what they're doing, is Imola's into the pit lane. Kieran actually follows Imola into the pit lane, and Wolfie stays out. So is Kieran going for the 2-stop now? He's on to another set of the medium, so Kieran is committed himself to a 2-stop. E-Rays has got 3 seconds for corner cutting, and that is not going to help him in his cause to try and win this race. So Imola and Kieran are both onto the mediums, but unlike Imola, Kieran cannot go until the end of the race, And Y69 Brit, he's lost so much time because of this red safety car to Kieran and Y69. No, Kieran and Eatler up ahead. But Wolfie, interestingly, decides to stay out. So, not too sure what that is about, but maybe he thinks staying out is the best strategy. As Ted is straight back into the pit lane for a set of the mediums. So he's done a very quick two-stop where he's just boxed the softs and then gone for the mediums the next lap. So he's going to try go to the end, I'd presume, on those tyres. Like for all other drivers, that might be a bit of a stretch. But Kieran has committed for the two-stop already, so he's played his card. So we'll have to wait and see if it pays off as he runs a bit wide. I think that'll probably be a warning for the Mercedes driver. But here comes Easy Level Bot now on Gamer Pro down towards turn 1. And it's a simple DRS move for the AlphaTauri, who now moves himself up into the top 3, but has a bit of a moment on the exit of turn 2, and he was lucky not to end up in the barriers. A very lucky boy. Luckily he only loses the position and about a second to Gamer Pro, but his car is still in the race, which is the good news for him. But Thibaudin now is the race, well, will be the race leader once Wolfie boxes for new tyres. But there is Eatler, of course, on the mediums, and Kieran's also in the battle. But remember, if Eatler wants, he can just stay out until the end. Kieran doesn't have the same luxury as he committed himself to the two-stop. Also, if there were to be another safety car, these guys could all box for new mediums, but Kieran would have to go for either softs or the hards, as he doesn't have any fresh sets of mediums left anymore. So that's not going to repel him from making the move, and even it's going to repel Thibaudin. Thibaudin goes to the inside of Wolfie. Simple DRS move in towards turn 1, and Lava K-Dot's AI cars into pit lane. Now here is Eatler, who's probably going to get overtaken here by Kieran, who sets the fastest lap in the process and moves himself up into P5. Simple move for the Mercedes driver, who now is the provisional race leader. But Eatler, if he can just stay, he runs a bit wide, if he can just stay within the DRS range of Kieran, that would be perfect for him, because eventually Kieran will have to box and he will have a big margin back to the Mercedes driver, which the Mercedes driver will have to hunt down. So E-Ray's then new personal best by almost a second, but unfortunately for him, he's also going to have to box again. That is Eatler who is round. And after such an amazing race, the Haas driver has lost it, and unless there is another safety car, that puts an end to his hopes of a race victory. Wolfie boxes for new medium tyres, and Thibaudin, Gamer Pro, and Easy Level Bot are going at it into towards turn 1, and Easy Level Bot and Gamer Pro made a bit of contact, forcing Gamer Pro over the sausage curves, but luckily for him, he wasn't spun around, just got a bit on that curb, a bit on the sausage curves. Hopefully he hasn't picked up any floor damage. I don't think he should have, as we do not run simulation damage, but I have heard of cases of drivers getting floor damage with normal damage on. So hopefully for him, he hasn't damaged the floor of his Aston Martin, but we'll have to wait and see how he progresses in the race. But at the moment, it looks like he is okay. But Wolfie has come out about 2 seconds off Eatler, who is in turn 8 seconds off Kieran. But I've actually missed Y69 Brit pit for a new set of the soft compound tyres, so clearly those mediums were not working for him, or he picked up some damage somewhere, but he's boxed with new softs, and he just did the fastest lap, but he's very far off. The battle for the lead now is Gamer Pro, and that is Y69 Brit into the gravel trap, so Thibaldine now could lap him at any moment, and that is not what he would have wanted to hear of such an amazing first stint as well. This could be heart-crushing for the Williams driver, as he just runs wide and allows himself to be lapped by Thibaldine and soon by the other leaders. But this is really bad for Y69 Brit, because as soon if there's another safety car, he will just not be allowed to unlap himself, unfortunately. But Easy Level Bot picks up 3-second time penalty just running wide on the exit of that corner in chase of Gamer Pro, but he's not going to have much of a benefit down the straight, as Gamer Pro will, oh no he will not, I was going to say Gamer Pro will get the DRS of Y69 Brit, but Y69 Brit actually let him pass before the detection zone, so this is going to put the Aston Martin on the back foot again in towards turn 1. As now the DRS comes on, Easy Level Bot is not going to use the ERS though. Y69 Brit retires in the pit lane, but Easy Level Bot is going to look to the inside but decides not to go for it and backs out of it. But Game Pro gets superior exit on the exit of the corner and pushes away, so 16 laps down, 16 laps to go. A lot of action can still happen in this race, and it'll be interesting to see who will take the win. Kieran is probably in the driving seat, but of course he does have to do another pit stop, but that is a time penalty for Wolfie, and there's a pretty good opportunity to look at the time penalty. So 3 seconds for Gamer Pro. He runs very wide and might now be under attack from Easy Level Bot into the double apex. No, Easy Level Bot is going to stick behind, but he also has 3 seconds. And then yeah, Thibaldine 0 seconds, I've got to say that. Kieran also 0 seconds. Eatler 3 seconds. Wolfie 3 seconds. Lava K-Dots is not scoring points because he's an AI car. E-Rays on 9 seconds. Ted on 3 seconds. So at the moment they're keeping the penalties under control. But let's have a look at this gap from gap to leader. So 17.1 from Kieran to Thibaldine, as now Easy Level Bot goes around the outside of Game Pro and towards turn 1. So about 17 seconds. So if Thibaldine boxes for new softs, he should theoretically be able to catch up to Kieran, but we know Kieran has something else in his back pocket. The Kieran is also on the 2 stop, remember that, so he has 17 seconds to gain to Thibaldine if he wants to win this race. So he's going to have quite the job, and if there's any man who can do that, it will be Kieran. But E-Ray is now up into P7 after overtaking Lava K-Dot's AI car. At the moment, not really much battling going on apart from this one between Easy Level Bot and Game Pro, but Game Pro has now picked up 6 seconds worth of time penalties down towards the latter stretch of this race, so he's going to have to keep it clean if he wants to get good points, as those penalties could cost him. The gap is still 16.5, so he's hunting it down. He's hunting the gap down, but I don't know if he's hunting Thibaldine down quick enough. But Gamer Pro gets past Easy Level Bot in towards turn 1 and leaves the AlphaTauri for dust, but I presume Easy Level Bot will get back to the next lap because Game Pro has no ERS and Easy Level Bot has 70% and can easily stick within Gamer Pro's DRS as well. So we should see another move there. But look at the gap between Wolfie and Eatler. A bit of an underrated battle. We haven't given much focus to it because of the gap. It was about 2 seconds, but now Wolfie is starting to gain on the hash just a little as they come towards the end, as they come towards the second sector split for lap 18 of 32 here in PlayStation Tier 3. Is all Wolfie having a bit of a moment, and that's just lost him quite a few attempts. So he will not be in Eatler's DRS this lap, maybe next lap, but here comes East Level Bot. He's not going to even have to deploy the ERS to get past Gamer Pro here. It will be a simple move for him. These guys are kind of working together and kind of not. I can see the strategy overtaking each other with the DRS and making the moves, but that's Gamer Pro. We had a moment, but he kept it facing the right way. Yeah, overtaking each other with DRS and just pulling themselves along. It's not really working at the moment because they're losing time to Kieran, and also losing time to Thibaudin, as that's now 9 seconds for Game Pro, so not what he would have wanted. Look at the gap from Kieran to Thibaudin, 16.0. So the gap Kieran's gaining is kind of plateaued, and he's not really gaining on Thibaudin, but Thibaudin is doing an amazing job at the moment, having an awesome drive, 80% ERS for the Irishman, up in P1. So how late will he leave it to go for the softs? Thing is, he has to be careful when you go. I think with the pace right now he's got, and with the gap to the cars behind, I think he should try stay out as long as possible, because like Y69 Brit found out, if you pit and the virtual safety car or the safety car comes out, you are screwed. So Thibaudin would not want that for himself, especially after driving such an amazing race up until this point. So he needs to keep himself out for as long as possible, but that is just my strategy call. You'll see what the Red Bull driver does, but good ERS management from him as well, around 70%. Same for Easy Level Bot, who despite the battering is keeping a respectable ERS level of around 70%. Gamer Pros used quite a bit more, about 10% for him left. Kieran has about 20%, so not too shabby. So does Eatler, around 20%, and Wolfie has about 15 maybe. E-Rays has no ERS at all and is using all of it. Lana K-Dot's in 77, but he's an AI car, and Ted has around 65%, so you know, it's a hard track to manage ERS levels, but it looks like driver's struggling right now, and Thibaudin is going to ignore my strategy call, and he's going to box on lap 21 of this race for the soft compound tyres, gets rid of those old mediums. He will fall behind all of these guys, but surely he will be in the driving seat, bar any safety cars, to win this race. But what Game Pro and Easy Level Bot gonna do, because they might try stay out. Kieran cannot stay out because he needs to box again due to the rule where you have to use 2 different tyre compounds. For those of you that didn't see, that didn't tune in early in the stream, qualifying was wet, which gave every driver a free choice of tyre, and Kieran decided to start on the mediums. But when the second safety car came out, when the VSC came out after the second safety car, him and Eatler both decided to box for new mediums. So he's going to have to box again if he wants even a chance of winning this race. With Game Pro and Easy Level Bot are starting to battle, and like he's like a shark, he's starting to loom up on these guys, and he's going to start devouring them if they keep battling. These guys need to work together and not against each other, because there's a very, very scary driver coming up to overtake them. Easy Level Bot is into the pit lane, so boxes for a new set of the soft compound tyres. So Game Pro will be left by himself out there with no ERS, nothing to defend himself. If he doesn't box this lap, then Kieran will get him in the next lap. But Kieran has a bit of a moment out of turn 2. We've seen many drivers do that today. It'd be a disaster if anyone ended up into the barriers. But Thibaudin right now in the driving seat. The gap to Gamer Pro spun on his mediums, and he's down into, well, he stays P2, but he's lost quite a lot of time, and I presume that will mean he will be boxing this lap. Luckily for Thibaudin, he's not put it into the wall, so he will not have to deal with any safety car drama. But realistically, Kieran picks up 3-second time penalty, so Kieran is going to have to box again for new tyres. Game Pro is boxing this lap. Thibaudin doesn't have to box again. Imola realistically could stay out. He could stay out. Wolfie could also stay out. And Kieran's into the pit lane. So Kieran, and he's sped in the pit lane. So surely this is Kieran's chance of a race victory gone. As it's now 8 seconds of worth time penalties. And, oh, he's unsafe release there from Mercedes. But, it's a video game, so we'll not call them up on that. Thibaudin though has Game Pro to stay out, so can Wolfie, I believe, but Kieran will be onto the back of them quite soon on his new tyres, so they're gonna have to watch out. But he's actually under pressure from easy level bot already on pit lane exit. And to be honest, he's jumped easy level bot in the pit lane, which I completely missed. The overcut working wonders for the Mercedes driver, who's now up into P4 in this race. So it's unlikely he will win the race, but he can still challenge for a podium if he can keep the car facing in the right way, which 5 drivers tonight haven't been able to do. Sorry, 4 drivers haven't been able to do, as Lucas Giorgio was disqualified from the session for who knows what. I'm not actually quite sure why he was disqualified, but I guess we'll find out. But Imola is not going to try to stay out. He's going for a new set of the softs. Wolfie, he's definitely going to stay out. Wolfie is he's just the kind of driver to try an ambitious strategy, like staying out on these medium tyres, and it could work for him if he has the pace, but it's very unlikely he will be able to keep. If they catch him, they're going to pass him. It's very unlikely he'll be able to do anything against Kieran or easy level bot, but easy level bot's just keeping the pressure on Kieran. He has superior ERS at the moment, so even when he falls about like 8 tenths off like he is now, he can use that ERS through the straights to just catch him back up and get him back into the DRS range of the Mercedes. So Kieran just isn't able to put it away. But if he keeps doing that, he is going to run out of ERS eventually, and he's now actually fallen out of the DRS range. But if he deploys the ERS, he might just get back into it at the end of the straight, but he doesn't. So he's lost DRS range already within a few laps of Kieran, and look at the gap. It's only 5.3. It was about 7 at the start of this lap. So I think Wolfie will easily be caught by Kieran. And to be honest, Thibaudin, he's had a masterful drive on the one stop from medium to soft, just stayed out of trouble, and all he has to do now is cruise to the end of this race, and he will take his first win of the season, I believe, which is surprising considering he's been on the pace a lot of times this season. But Kieran, the man leading the championship at the moment, 4.4 seconds off Wolfie now, and easy level bot is only 2 seconds off of Kieran himself. So this could be an interesting battle for Wolfie, who will most likely fall to Kieran and will not keep P2, but if he is lucky, he might be able to retain P3 in this race. Y69 Brit leaves the session, not the greatest race for him today, unfortunately, and E-Ray's box for new mediums, so he will soon be attacking Ted for P7. Imola is currently in no man's land, and same with Gamer Pro, who lost it all when he spun on his in lap. He lost bags of time, and now he's left battling no one but Easy Level Bot. Was in the DRS of Kieran on pit lane exit, but just doesn't have the same pace as the Mercedes driver, who's on another level at the moment, and he's fallen 3 seconds off him now, and Kieran is fast approaching Wolfie for P2. It should be a routine move for the Mercedes, but Wolfie will not be wanting to make mistakes like that, and that is Wolfie's chance of a podium gone, and the Alfa Romeo driver will be lucky to bring home a P6 in this race after spinning there, and well, that's his chance of a podium gone. And Kieran's up into P2, and Easy Level Bot now up into P3. So there was no battle between Wolfie and Kieran. I would have liked to see that P1 and P2 in the championship at the moment, but Wolfie spun unfortunately, and now he's going to be under pressure from the Aston Martin of Gamer Pro down towards turn 1. They both have similar ERS levels, but it looks like Gamer Pro is going to get the move done towards turn 1. Easy DRS pass, and Gamer Pro now moves himself up into the top 4, but I do believe he does have more penalties than Wolfie. Yes, he does. So he has 6 seconds more, so Wolfie just needs to stay within 6 seconds of Gamer Pro, and Easy Level Bot just needs to stay within 6 seconds, sorry, 5 seconds of Kieran, but at the moment he might not do that because the gap is already 4.1 and Kieran's only going to get quicker. But Dibardine here, no penalties, 70%, a beautifully managed race from the, oh, and that's Wolfie again at the same corner. He is round and he drops to P6, and if he were to pit he could be under pressure from his own teammate Ted, so disaster for Wolfie near the end of the race. But anyways, a beautifully managed race from Thibaldine in P1, but Easy Level Bot has a lot more ERS to play with than Kieran, so I believe he will use those on the final few laps just to stay within the 5-second range of the Mercedes driver. Game Pro has none, Wolfie, no sorry, Imola has none. Wolfie has about 30%, but he's boxing now for new softs, I presume. Ted has about 40, and E-Rays has about 20, and is closing marginally, but not quick enough on Ted. But Wolfie, just unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo. He spun once, ruined his confidence at the corner, and he spun twice. So his race is now over, and he will drop into a no man's land between his teammate and Imola, so losing no positions. Maybe he can go for the fastest lap if he can get the car tuned in and working on these last few laps of the race. But Dibaldine definitely got the car working today, as he is going to bar any disasters, cruise to victory in this race in Tier 3. His first win of the season, and that will help him in the battle for P3. It will move him up into P3 in the championship, of course. He's 5th at the moment on 49 points, tied with Easy Level Bot, I want to say, also on 49 points, and then also 1 point behind Dylan. Unfortunately, Dean left today. 1 point behind Dylan on 50 points, so he will move up to 3rd place in the championship. He will not catch Wolfie though, as Wolfie is on about 80 or so points, and he will only get to the 7th, if my maths is correct. So good points for Dean though, so he'll be maybe in the battle for P2 if he can get a few good rounds and overtake Wolfie at the moment, but no one will be challenging this man. If someone somehow manages to beat Kieran this season, I will be so surprised, because Kieran has just been on another level the whole season. It'd be crazy if he went on to win the championship, if someone else went on to win the championship after this man's dominance throughout the whole season. PS Tier 2 saw a similar thing with Dan Snyder dominating most of the early part of the season, but he started to drop off the last few races, and it's really inviting the other drivers like Dirk and Prince Conte to get involved. The PC tier had, of course, this runaway Mercedes, who unfortunately left the league, so now Mutant Unlimited, I believe, leads it and is still up for grabs in their league. Wolfie sets the fastest lap though, so that's an extra point coming home to Alfa Romeo. And then PS Tier 1 is just a battle between the two fastest drivers in our league, URL David and VR Taco, otherwise known as Pope Taves. They both have incredible pace, and then you've got the likes of, well, you had the likes of TTG Chom, he was quick enough to challenge them, CRE Luca, who's also challenging them up there, Bonnie Valve, Piero, Chanster, a lot of quick drivers in Tier 1. TH4 plays 10, let's not forget about him, he's very quick as well. But yeah, they're all very quick drivers, but Euro, David and Taker are just on a different level to everyone else, to be honest, and they're both really fast. I believe I've raced with and against both of them, so I'll be interested to see who will take the win in that championship. I believe David took the championship lead back as he won last night, and Taco did not race, so unfortunately no points for the reigning champion. No reigning champion of PS Tier 3, as it is its first season, but I presume the reigning champion will be Kieran, and I also presume he will not in a row, as he'll probably be moved up into Tier 2 for next season. It's pretty much a guarantee. It's very likely he'll be moved up. But anyways, back to the action. Dean is going to dominate in PlayStation Tier 3, win by almost 30 seconds. Ted was getting out the way. Not had a very good race himself, but he actually also got overtaken by E-Rays on what will be his last lap of the Grand Prix, not E-Rays's, because E-Rays will not get lapped unless he purposely slows down just to not do another lap. But Dean, he had the pace, he had the wits about him, he kept his nose clean, he kept his car on the track, and Dean is going to win in dominating fashion around Imola. Fantastic race from the Red Bull driver, who wins his first race in PlayStation Tier 3, and then it's going to be Kieran, the championship leader, coming home in a very respectable P2. He'll be unhappy to not have won once again. Easy Level Bot is going to take the podium in P3. Good result for him. Gamer Pro will be next across the line in P4 for Aston Martin. Then it'll be Eatler, P5, and then we're going to have to wait a bit for Wolfie, who will finish P6, and then wait a bit more for E-Rays, who finished P7. Ted has already finished. He finished P8. Lavo K-Dot's also finished, but will get no points as he was AI the whole entire race. So, therefore will score no points. So, Wolfie is going to now cross the line any minute now to finish what's not been the best race for him. He knows we know he can do better. So I expect to see him fighting again next week out in Belgium. That's set to be a very interesting race, but E-Race will cross the line to finish the race in PlayStation Tier 3, and that is a wrap for tonight's race. Congratulations to all the drivers who finished the race. Thibaudin, driver of the day, very well deserved. There was no one on his level tonight. Probably the best driver out of everyone in tonight's race. He didn't have as much pace as Kieran or Y69 Brit in qualifying, but in the race he made it count on the alternate strategy. Come home to win the Imola Grand Prix for Red Bull, bringing home a very nice 25 points to the Red Bull constructor to further help them in their cause to win the championship. But it is final race results. Thibaudin comes from P14. He actually did a last to first challenge, and I just realized he started last and has managed to win. So Thibaudin from last place has managed to win in Tier 3. Then it's Kieran in P2, Eastelbot P3, Eatler P4, Game Pro rounding out the top 5, Wolfie 6, 7 goes to E-Rays and Wolfie's teammate, Ted in P8, Libo Kados in P9 but will score no points because of him being an AI car. And then Y69 Brit starts as the first of the DNFs, the Frenchman finishing 10th but no points of course. Taj Fun, Yeet for Life Pro and Dylan round out the DNFs, and look to Jaja who got disqualified but says he got DNF'd. Also will score 0 points for tonight's race. But that is the end of the race, and I've been VR_F1 Love commentating, and I hope you've all enjoyed the stream, and I'll hope to see you again on Monday for PlayStation Tier 2 around Spa. See you all then.